It's the world's most advanced knowledge work agent.
Hi, it's Simon. Welcome back to Better Creating. We need to talk about Notion Agent. When Notion released Notion 3.0 this month, it essentially completely changed how most of us will use Notion forever. Notion 2.0 was really focused around databases, and the new version still uses them. But at the heart of this system is this, Notion Agent. Notion Agent is an AI agent that will do multiple step processes and essentially do anything that you can do in Notion for you. Not only that, it takes away all of your busy work so you can focus on the stuff that matters, the life's work, the important work that you should be focused on. It's baked in with some of the key latest Claude and ChatGPT LLM models that are really powerful. So you essentially, by paying for a business plan on Notion, get all of the business plan features, but then access to these key LLM models. It's super powerful stuff. And the best part of this is that you can personalize it. You can name your agent, you can give it its own system instructions, and when you've done that, you have a powerful personal agent that understands your context, has a memory, and can learn from its interactions with you. And to make the most of that, I've built this, AgentOS. This is my kind of version of taking that agent personalization to its optimum place. This is a complete multimodal agent instruction page. Now, this is templated, it's on the marketplace. It's the first of its kind, genuinely, I believe, that's been put up on the marketplace. Hundreds of you have been downloading it in these first few weeks, and I really think from the reports coming back, it's been really successful. So this video will not only show you exactly how to onboard effectively to using a system like this, but I'm also going to demo for you the key ways we can use it in the system and how it might link to something like a LifeOS or Second Brain system, a bit like my Notion LifeOS template. And on that note, it's been really interesting because this template is super powerful. It's thousands of you now use it and own it, but many beginners and newer people coming to Notion find these kind of things tricky or overwhelming to use. Notion Agent is going to change that. When I show you what's possible in this video, a longer video, I think you're going to be amazed, because I certainly have been. So I'm going to demo it using my Better Creating workspace, the actual workspace I work within. And I'm going to show you how we can onboard to the system, but then within the actual agent pages, exactly how we can use this multi-mode system to give you not just a simple personal agent, but a complete team of specialists working with you in your workspace. I've built, 7 now, because I made a 7th recently for the crack, which I'll show you how to do using this new mode creator. But I want to also demo to you some of these in action to show you how you might go about doing it. So grab a brew, get yourself subscribed if you haven't, because there's going to be loads more great content around productivity and tech to make your life simpler on this channel. But most importantly, let's dive into Notion Agent and Notion AgentOS in action. If you've downloaded the template or you're curious about using this with your existing systems, this video is for you. All right. First, the fundamentals of getting started with Notion Agent in general, regardless of if you're using my AgentOS or not, which, by the way, I recommend you do because it's fantastic. Okay, let's start here. If we open up the sidebar and go to Notion AI, if you have that there, you might have it as a trial if you're on a free or education basic plan, or you might have the option to personalize and set up your agent instructions. If you have that, it probably means that you're on a business plan. Now, this first of all might make you go, oh no, I've got to pay. But hear me out. I am not being paid or sponsored to say this. I genuinely believe it. And I'm going to say to you right now, I've done exactly this. I use this for everything. And if we go into here and just close this for a second, what you'll see with Agent is that we're getting the latest Anthropic Claude Sonnet 4.5 as I make this video available to us to do everything. ChatGPT 5, Gemini, it's all there. So that's essentially, given the fact that we can create instructions for those models, like paying for the pro plans of both of them. Admittedly, it's kind of workspace and kind of this kind of use case specific, but for my use case, that is a fantastic deal because we're also getting all of the other granular database permissions, team stuff, premium integrations, but also enterprise search and AI meeting notes. These are fantastic, particularly the enterprise search. It allows you to use connectors. That means you can, when you use this agent, it will work with your Slack, your Drive, your Gmail, and soon your Notion calendar, Gmail calendar, Teams, all of the rest of it. It's really, really powerful. It means that we can actually interact with our wider system and call on it and research from it. And I'll show you in a little bit, it's incredible what it can do. If we jump back into Notion, you're going to need to first of all start by personalizing. So click on personalize, give your agent a look. I am a big fan. These will all kind of make them look slightly different, but I'm going to go with that. I'm going to click set up instructions. You can create your own and just write your own instructions, which if you do that, you'll see it's now set that page. It has a basic page system, agent identity, how it interacts with you, and its memories. So this is a good basic place to start. However, this is only one way of it operating. And the joy of using something like my AgentOS system is that I've gone a long way with it, right? So this is weeks of work on an intensive sprint in the beta before this came out to make all of this. And we've created global operating systems and a bunch of modes that it will operate within. And you can just keep adding your own. I can't believe we made this. It's really good. Anyway, I need to stop fluffing about it. Let's go back out and I'll show you perhaps a better way to do this. Let's change the settings and let's go back in here. You could now also consider browsing templates. And if you scroll down, you'll see there is my Essentialist Productivity template by me. So you could click that and that would bring this in. If we go into the templates gallery, click on this little article here, you'll see within this view, my Essentialist Productivity Coach, and that's addable from the system. But again, it's just one part of the wider system. Either way, when you do this, what I recommend you do is you go in and you use an existing page and you select the agent that you want to use. Now, as a little warning, just for those that are downloading my template, when you download AgentOS, you'll click Use Instructions. And what that will automatically do is set your AgentOS, this is a demo, as the instructions. The problem is it's set the dashboard homepage. And as you'll see in my homepage, this is the page, the master system instructions that needs to be set as it. But we've built in recently a little agent guardrail. So it shows you the power of it. Let's just do this and go, hi, let's plan my week. You can see a little example of how it's reading instructions, but it's actually reading this dashboard. And so it's warned us, hi, it's Simon, kind of. It looks like you haven't set me up correctly yet. So it's going to talk you through how to make sure you are set up to use it properly. So I'm pretty proud of that. Well, thank you, Jacob, who's been developing this with me, a wonderful Notion consultant and creator. This is the page we need to set up. So we can do this in a couple of ways. If I just click to that page and click Command L on Apple, we then copied the link. If we go back, we're going to go and click Change Settings, go and select an existing page and find it. There's two ways to do it. You can type AgentOS Master and you'll find the master system instructions, or you can just do what we did, which was do Command L and then do Command V and find it and make sure you've got the right thing. Click Done and we should be good to go. Great, so we're now set up on the right page. If we just jump back to the home page, you'll also see that there is some onboarding guides here. So on onboarding, we have now duplicated the page, personalized it, given our agent a name and selected the right page. There's a couple of final steps you need to take. And the main one is this, actually, let's put that in there, mention your databases. And as you'll see, if you move down into connecting your databases in my onboarding instructions, I have this view of database titles. When you get my template, it will all look like that, just with mention your database. So what you need to do is make sure that your key databases you want it to do things like update with tasks are listed. And I've done this by putting it in a synced block, which you can see is being edited on the master system instructions. So all you've got to do is jump in here, just do @ and then do your task database. Mine is BC tasks, select it, leave anything else you don't want to use. Those are the key ones I'm using for this demo and we're good to go. We know it will use the right ones. And you can also scroll down and then also update anything within my template for things like tone of voice guides for the actual content and writing mode. So this is for mode 6 as it references here. So we'll jump back out. Last couple of things on this homepage. We've got a good practices system here, which shows you how to do a couple of things. And we're going to talk about these in a little bit. Setting up your tone of voice, giving it feedback, giving it a history. That's all good. But there you go. And finally, there is an agent prompts set of tables with great examples of prompts you might use. Let's copy that one. Jumping back to Notion AI, the last thing we can do is get it to introduce itself. Okay, please introduce yourself and suggest our first step. So what we'll see now is the programming from my personal instructions for my agent paying off, and we'll get a very bespoke response. You can see it's searching through different systems. Here we go. There's a nice quote, which I ask it to do. It's listed our modes, and you can see there is a workspace and systems mode, which kind of maintains and updates everything. We've then got coaching modes, productivity coach, we showed you that earlier, decision-making support, and a complete goal setting and vision system. And then we've got writing and content. This transforms things from messy notes into reports. It's really good. And it will even help you actually. Mode 5 would help you write your own agent system instructions. And I recently added a new one for the fun of it, which I'm going to show you how to create later on in this video, which is an entertainment mode. It's quite good fun. Our first step, it's suggesting we audit the workspace, prioritize my week, process is something specific. There you go, look, it's really nice. So without further ado, I would argue it is now time for me, well, for you to hit the like button and for me to show you what is possible. So I'm going to demo a couple of ways to use it. And as we do that, I'll show you how you can get your agent to update your workspace, improve your workspace, feed back to itself, giving it its own memories and its self-improvement system, and how I've created a special chat history system which allows Agent in Notion to remember everything you discussed and reference it, which it currently can't do on its own. Let's go. All right, let's test out our productivity coach. Back to that same conversation. I just want to draw out something that I was really impressed with on that first introduction we asked it to do. You can see it's already now reading my key context. Since I'm running Better Creating and having a lot moving right now, hiring decisions, content pipeline, partnerships, here's what it suggests. That's really, really insightful. So we could do a workspace audit, but I'm actually going to demo this, prioritizing my week. So let's do this. And what's great after this kind of conversational mode is I can just do this. I'm going to copy and paste that in, and I'm going to write, great, let's prioritize my week. So you'll see there, probably, it's entering mode 2 protocol. It's looking at my tasks. It's searching my databases. And you'll see it searched the databases that we have specified. So again, you can see that instruction having an impact. And it's going to be using mode 2 training, which I've given it. It's even with my, you probably shouldn't be seeing this one, my alpha test, checking my calendar. It can see I've got a lot going on. Wow, this is great. Okay, here we go. So what you'll see here is the productivity coach coming into action. Things which matter most must never be at the mercy of things which matter least. Love that. All right, I've looked into your project's tasks, and with a secret alpha tester that I'm doing, which you won't have access to just yet, is checking my calendar with Notion Calendar. Let's be honest about what this week actually looks like. Now, I kind of already knew what was going on with this week. I'm in rehearsals all week for a theatre show that I direct. You've consumed 10 till 6. Personal commitment with my kid and some very limited work capacity. The pressure, you have 15 active projects. Yeah, I haven't been updating it, and I'm going to an event. You can't do it all this week. Trying will leave everything half done and you exhausted. What actually matters right now? I've got to prep for the Make Waves event, great. I've got to follow up with this system, which I'm doing right now. And I've got to make sure my partnerships are ready for future videos in YouTube. That's great. My Student Life OS, yeah, I decided to push that, so that's fine. I'm not doing website tasks. This will need to happen, but I can get my colleague to do it. and some mailing list optimization. Great. Defer everything else, seriously. Your realistic plan is this: meetings, do my dry run, weekly reviews. Great. And then it's gone on to its coaching questions, which is what we've trained it to do. Before we lock this in, this is great. They're not actually. And what I love is it's then focusing on this concept of the one thing. And that is something that I've baked into my instructions. So actually, if we just jump back now to my agent, if we jump into the mode instructions, if we go down into them and look at the productivity coach, you can kind of see what it's doing. It's how it should work. It's got a handoff to mode 1 when it needs to update things, core objectives, coaching modes, key knowledge I've trained it on, and some of my favorite bits of productivity methodology that's baked into it. So it's trained on all that knowledge and how it should act step by step productivity processes, and then a bunch of my videos, which you can then ask it to recommend any of my video content to inform you. So let's just have a little go at that. So let's say I'm actually going to use the dictation system for keyboard on Mac by double pressing Control. Currently, the Make Waves automations do need some time, and I need to make sure that the demo will work for my Slack integration with Notion and Agent. And the website can be pushed back. AgentOS emails are basically ready for Monday. Once I finish filming this, Student Life OS, we can let it go and defer that, I think, until the start of 2026. So using dictation on Mac makes this so much better because you can actually have a conversation. Great little tip. Well, I think it is. Perfect. The clarity makes everything simpler. So work on that workflow, get everything set up, and then work on your stuff. Great. So this is a great example of how you could do this. So let's just now demo how I might want to add a task into my to-do list. Okay, it's actually suggested some updates. I agree with all of those. And I think we can go, please go ahead with all of those workspace updates for me. So you can see now it's jumped to mode 1 system instructions, which is that key element of it. It's searched my task database. That means it's checking any tasks that exist in there. It's moving all of my dates for my Student Life OS project, which is lovely. And it's doing a final website launch proof. Great, it's updating everything. Let's see what we get. So I think this is a great example of something I would take forever updating. It is taking my busy work off me. Look at all these tasks being adjusted for me and allowing me to just go and focus on what I need to focus on. Really, really love this. So it's also going to confirm everything. So I've got it to make sure that it'll only make key changes or delete things. It'll have to confirm that. I think that's already built in, but good example. So let's see what it's done. Updated 13 tasks and it's created 1 new task. So let's just go and check that new task. If we jump over to Better Creating and go into my quick drop inbox, I've programmed it to add that to my inbox. And sure enough, you'll see confirm the plan for this. There's no fee, so we're going to get rid of that. It also means that I can update it, add a deadline for when it needs to be done. I would say, actually, I'd like that to be a little earlier. Let's make that there. And let's make the deadline by the 10th. That all looks good to me. That could change. I don't really need it to be there. It's even linked it to the right channels and everything else. And I can just add it to my system and we're good to go. Fantastic. And this is a great example of how this will work with something like a Notion Life OS. So if you are a user of this, you would just select your Life Areas database, your projects database, your task database, and it would be able to update and use all of this for you. Okay, so that's a good example of our productivity system. Let's now select a new chat, but maybe we'll do it in the sidebar, because the other thing that you can do is use the sidebar view and even adjust the width of it in how you work. It's really fantastic. And what I'm going to ask it to do is stay in sidebar. Let's now move on to making some decisions. Okay, say Iman, I'd like to make a decision. Should I sell my Fuji cameras and move to the Sony camera system. The reason I ask is the autofocus and functions of Fuji are not as reliable and solid as Sony's APS-C sensors. That said, I love the Fuji colors and the use of those cameras, but I did recently buy an X100 so I'm getting to use that for personal use. So perhaps I should move all of my work cameras to Sony. I need to make that decision. You get the idea. Okay, so you can see it's now going to select the decision-making coach. And you might have spotted there, it said, I must start with the scoping process. So I've trained this to check with me how to work. The problem with AI is if you ask it to do something without instructions and limitations, it just uses all of the information and its own approach. So this is using what I've trained it on around decision-making frameworks. Let's make this example a quick decision report. This is lovely that it's asked me all this. I can actually have a dialogue with it. Maybe we have a quick dialogue. So I'm going to say that. Let's just see how it handles it. Doing its thinking. And it's asked me a bunch of questions. Good. So let's now answer it. Great. So I've dropped in my feelings. It's just listened to what I've had to say. Let's see what it comes up with. Now you can see here now, another example. It's using those connectors, searching my drive. It's searching through my workspace, web, Google Drive. It's doing a bunch of that, which is fantastic. It's found a bunch of results. It's got the context. And here we're going to get our decision report. So a good example of a really quick process using my decision maker. And let's see what it comes up with. So this is really interesting. It's done a cost benefit analysis, the cost of buying everything and the net cost of new investment, suggesting better low light performance, all of those things, pros, cons, new workflow. It's also done a regret minimization framework. It's viewed my studio kit. Confidence level is 80%. Make the switch to Sony. Your income depends on reliable capture. Can't afford an AF lottery. I can keep my nice Fuji camera. It's manageable. It's not a huge investment after selling the Fuji gear. It's pretty good. And this is incredible. I would never have been able to do this on my own. Final thought. It's a great system, but a bit of a risky tool. Okay, well, whether you agree with that or not, who knows? But I want to now demonstrate, let me know in the comments if you care about cameras. I want to now demonstrate what this can do as well in the system. We have a decision log database. So if I now say, great, thanks, I'm not 100% there on the decision. So let's log this in the decision log database and add a reminder task for me to come back to this Monday week. Watch this. Okay. So it's now moving to mode 1, and it is what I would expect it to do is log this in the decision log database. Now, if you want to have a quick look at that while it does it, we can go in here. There is a database here called the decision log database. And there's actually within the homepage, if we go back to this, if you download the template, a decision log dashboard, and you could move this into your existing system. It's designed to be easily used. And we have, examples of things that I've done already. And I'm working on making a hire as well. So again, this is agentic behavior. It's doing multiple steps all at once as I ask it in a simple sentence. And I could go off and do something else with you. Right, here we go. It's logged it in the decision log database. It's got a task. So let's just check the task. We can click on it because it gives me a link. There it is. I'm just going to link that to the YouTube channel and keep that as important. That's all good. I'll just add that to the system so it's not started. Lovely stuff. That is in my tasks database, as you can see. We can jump back. We've then got the decision log, and here you'll see it is in my decision log database of the AgentOS, and it's about switching. And you can see if we close this up, we have all of that information, recommendation, partially reversible, risks, mitigation, all listed in there and the full report within the page so I can go and check on it later on. How about that? I mean, come on. So there's two great examples of coaching. We also have within this template a vision and goal setting coach, which will follow, as I'll show you here, a mandatory set of steps where it scopes, asks questions, takes you through everything. But perhaps the most useful element of this is I've built into the template my yearly reflection guide. This is a full process of managing your year. And this is actually baked in to my Notion LifeOS system within, for example, if we jump down, my goal setting and yearly planner, you'll probably recognize in this page the same process in here to work through. So it's designed to directly work with my system, which I love about that. But I've trained the agent on it, so it's all built in to the system. But that one maybe is for a separate video. So let's also take this moment to demo feeding back to your agent on notes and using my built-in chat history system in AgentOS, because this really does make a difference. Now I've noticed it's getting confused about what Fuji camera I own back there, so I'm going to just correct it. So I'm just going to write feedback to note for you. So I'm going to say the personal Fuji camera I own is this, and I'm also going to say, also when you do this quick version of decision making, even if you are selecting the correct framework, please always confirm your choice of frameworks with me before continuing, and they should always be selected from the frameworks database built into your instructions for this mode. Now, if we now send that to it, this will probably now be updated. Let's have a little look. That's great. So I'm just going to say, great, please update your memories if you haven't yet. So weirdly on that example, it didn't update its memories, but it generally tends to do that. But let's just see this. There you go, updating the master system instructions. There you go. And let's just go and take a little look at if it's done that. If we jump into this page and jump down, you'll see here they are. And here are some other examples of little refinements that I've asked for from the system as we worked. And that is rather cool. Now, the next thing we want to look at is chat history. And so to demo that, let's just drop this chat into the chat history database. Great. Please, can you now log this chat in your chat history? It's viewed the chat history database. There you go. It's been a complete verbatim transcript of the conversation has been added. So if we now go to that chat history database and open this up so you can see, this is within the system and we can see a complete transcript of user and agent having a conversation. Why is this useful? So if we jump back to Notion AI, you'll see in the little chat history corner, we do have a chat history up here. Here they all are. But it can't necessarily find them. So I will ask, can you reference old conversations or chats within Notion AI if you don't have a database of them? And as the AI is confirmed, they can't reference old conversation unless they've been saved somewhere in your workspace. It can access your pages, anything you've done, but it can also access this, right? Previous chats that weren't saved, conversations from other chat windows. So unless you want to have a single chat window conversation, which is a good idea, you could just work with a single thing. But as you see, I've got loads of different ones that I start, and it's quite hard to maintain the same thing. So this chat history can be really helpful because you can then get it to work back to it. This is your memory bank, you know? This database that it created is really useful. So yeah, something to consider, and we've built it in. So that's feedback and the chat history. Next, let's move finally on to creating things in Notion with Agent and AgentOS and those instructions. And I want to demo two of my favorite modes in this system, the advanced meeting notes transformer and my content creating assistant. Let's do it. All All right, I now want to demo for you our Mode 5 system instructions, which are an advanced notes and text transformer. The joy of this is it can help me demonstrate two things at once. One is the system we've got to basically kind of manage and respond to notes. And at the very end, what I want to demo to you as well is being able to create prompts to make a new agent. So I'm going to show you as well in this little section how you can create within this view your own modes using the Create New Mode button. First of all, let's demo our meeting notes transformer. Now, we already have within our system, if I jump to my notes and meetings page and click New Meeting, we already have with Notion AI meeting notes, which allow you to start transcribing for any video call or meeting and get a transcription. And if I jump back to my dashboard, you'll see, for example, in my VA meeting here, we have a full transcript of our conversation right there, which is pretty cool. But the problem with that is that it doesn't really give us detailed notes. They're not bad, but they're always pretty much like this, which are okay. So I want to go further. What if I want to go deeper with how I do this? So if we jump back into this view, I've created within this 12 different meeting notes transformers, from lecture and keynote summary generators, detailed project notes, pitch drafting for consultancy, and some of my favorites, a creative note session write-up. So zero loss capture for things like notes I'm giving on a theatre show. So I'm going to say, please create a detailed notes report for this meeting. And I'm going to mention this meeting on the, there you go. This was a meeting we had about my immersive next to normal show. So I'm going to click go. Now we should now see it select mode 5. If it's not probably already referencing it because it's in there, it's going to pick the mode. There you go. It picks mode 5 and it's picking our creative notes set. Now I would expect this to pick the transformer number 9, which is to do creative notes that we talked about. Creative notes session write-up, zero loss capture. This feels great. It's offering other options. This is all stuff I've trained it on. I like what it's doing. Let's zoom in a bit so you can see it better. That all looks great. Should you process this? Great. And I'm going to say, yes, please. And please add the results directly to the meeting notes page being referenced in the main page body. Now, what I should see happen because of the instructions I've put into this is quotations and a detailed step-by-step breakdown of the meeting that we had. So if we scroll down to show you some of the instructions that are listed within this rather complex agent instruction page, you'll see under the actual specific thing, we're able to be kind of careful about how we get it to work. This is a specialized use case, and you'll see, if we open this up, you'll see it is going to do quite theatre-specific formatting. This could be used for anything where you want to get quotes and details about a conversation. It's going to take out key departments, general categories, organize things into urgent, so on and so forth. And it's even got some kind of header and like kind of layout instructions that we've put within it. So we're now seeing it working. It's updating the page with the notes at the moment, which is exciting. And there we go. It's dropped in my summary. Here it is. It's the original source. It's put everything in, and then you can see session summaries. And what's really cool is we can see it's then doing the things I'm asking it to do, which is like quote stuff from the conversation. It's linking it to departments. Then it's going through specific scenes from the show, which is really powerful. So this is the power of, you couldn't do this in any other way than with a system instruction. And it's a great example of using AI to do it. But let's try another example. Right, so let's show you how we can create a new mode first of all. So if we click on this button within the main master instructions, we scroll down, it will create a new mode. So here it is. It's a template system that I've created. So it looks just like this. You can put in your mode. So we could call this mode 8, name the mode here. And then in here, you would mention this page once you'd renamed it. As you can see, I've done for my entertainer and satirist here. And you can drop in your instructions. And then if we go into the mode page, it's a really simple thing where you would just rename it what it is, mode 8, you would give it its name, and then you would see that it's already got the basics of handing off to mode 1 for updating your workspace, and this is where you'd put everything in. And then what we could do is go into here and say to it, I'd like to create a new system instruction here. Let's see what it does, because I'm hoping it will go, I need to find the right mode. And probably it should find the mode transformer. So it doesn't have instructions. Interesting. So I need to give it some feedback here, actually. When you do this, I recommend saying, please use mode 5 and add a note to your instructions. You should always use mode 5 for anything relating to creating agent system instructions or AI instructions. So now it's viewing those pages. And this is a great example of needing to give feedback, right? You're not always going to be perfect. So it's now going to pick the correct transformer. It's probably going to find transformer 12. There you go. The secret of getting ahead. Lovely. Mode 8, creation. It's using the meta agent. There you go. Then I'll draft the complete system instructions and afterwards update my master system instructions for mode 5. Fantastic. Well, let's make something new. Who knows if this will work? Create a mode that is an expert on minimalism and minimalist design. Let's try it. I mean, this is a fun one. I think my entertainer and satirist is a great laugh, but let's see what it does. Going to now update this view. Okay, while this does this, check out this little clip of how my entertainer and satirist went after creating that using this exact process. Hi, entertain me? Let's see if it works. I mean, this is a live test. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Well, hello, Simon. I see you've got 3 iPhone videos clicking at once, an AgentOS launch sequence building itself, and a queue of sponsors politely waiting for you to take their money. Bold move asking an AI to entertain you when your to-do list could probably headline a comedy festival on its own. Not bad. Okay, but here's the thing. Sounds a bit like me on videos. Terrible. Okay, quick question. Would you rather I roast your current projects, improvise a dramatic reading of your partnership negotiations email? I mean, come on. It's fun, isn't it? Pretty cool. All right, so it is still going. It's updating the instructions. Let's look at how we're getting on. So first of all, it has updated this memory note, document that mode 5, it should be used, and the transformer. This is really nice. It's got trigger keywords, which is fun. And I want to correct this. Okay, for my minimalist agent, make sure there is no overlap with my existing decision maker or productivity coach. We should be prioritizing the productivity coach for using when we're talking about planning or productivity-based subjects around minimalism. You'll need to update these instructions so they become more about design and lifestyle, and ensure that none of the main page system instructions cause you to not use the productivity coach at the wrong moment. So it's doing the work. You can see here it's now being much more accurate and fixing that. And now it's updating these to ensure that it's about living and lifestyle. Another great example of multiple things being done at once by an agent. It's just great. Now, of course, this is probably slower sometimes watching it happen. But, you know, if you are a user, you can go away and do something else while it gets on with it. All right, it's done it. Let's have a little look at what it's done. It has now mode 1 now explicitly excludes and hands off to mode 2 for that, which is great. And we've made sure that mode 8 doesn't trigger the wrong thing and does trigger the right stuff. This is all very nice. It's added a memory note to make sure that boundary happens, and it's all done. And here you can see our new instructions. Now, I've personally found that this is not as good as you writing them, but it's a great place to start. So once again, I would encourage you to do the work to go in and look at it and look at some of the ones we've built and make sure that you get this to the same place. But it's kept those original handoff notes that I added at the bottom. It's been very intelligent. It's updated the top page, which is fantastic. And it's all very good to go. So all we now need to do is go back to the main agent page, drop down to the view of these. There's our mode. We can drop it in down here to mode 8 and make sure that it's referencing the correct page. It already is. And we're good to go. Let's give this thing a test and see what it does. To do that, we're going to jump in here. How can I design my living room to be more calm and focused? I don't know. I've never tried this before, so this is going to be quite good fun to see what it does. But a great example of using this agent and the built-in honed transformer of mode 5 to create bespoke agent instructions, to create a new agent instruction to then ask it this about minimalism. It should be picking out mode 8. It looks like it's doing that. Let's see what it does. Follow the consultation process. Great, look at this. It's built it on my mode descriptions. I mean, it's fantastic. We can answer some of those things. The room is about 4 by 5 meters. We mostly relax, read, watch TV, and hang out with the family. There, it feels like it might be a bit of visual noise. We have some nice kind of Vitra and Eames pieces of furniture, but I would love to make the whole thing just feel more like a Charles and Ray Eames house. Let's just try it. I mean, it's interesting. Great, and so on and so forth. Pretty good fun. So guys, it's actually really good. It's done a load of research, talked to me about like KonMari style approach. Does it spark joy or have a clear function? I love the quote reference that this thing has put in as well, which is, you'll see, have nothing in your house that you do not know to be useful or believe to be beautiful. I think that's true. It's recommended first action plan: declutter, hide cables and tech, edit your color palette, adjust the layout, a bit of finer curation, really nice. But I love this. Do you want me to help you creating a plan? Hand off to mode 1. Let's go, sure. Set up a goal and milestone tasks for 2026. We should now see it do some more of that updating and probably reference the key databases and pages it needs to use. So it's switched to mode 1. It's going to add goals to the goals database and some milestone tasks, hopefully related to that goal because we've trained it on it. It's looking at my years and my databases for goals. I've just seen it spotted there's no 2026 year, so it's going to add that. I just saw it said, I think it should be linked to personal development. It's created my 2026 year in the years database. It's doing all this on its own. Do you know what I mean? That's what's completely wild. I've not said make a new year. It's got, you need a new year for the goals database and the year. So in terms of like using this with Notion Life OS, the years database, your areas, your goals, it gets it. It's wild. And look, it's creating now tasks specific to this work, which will be the milestone tasks linked to the goal. All right, there we go. So let's see what it's done. It's created a goal. Lovely. You can see it in the view and my to-do list dashboard. Fantastic. So let's take a little look at my live goals. We should now see a 2026. There it is, the new goal. If we click into it, there's all the milestone tasks. Let's make this a new goal. Links to the year, which is great. We can just update the year. And if we click onto this task, we can see it's early in the year, all set up, ready to go. I absolutely love it. That is fantastic. So pretty powerful stuff. That's how we're using that. I love it. Cool, some great examples. You get the idea. That's how to create your own modes within the mode picker. And it's great to see the agent is learning from itself. Now let's take one final look at my content repurposing system and show you what it can do. The last thing we're going to do is create a video using my content creation system. Now, this is another little tip. If we jump to my content manager dashboard, it can be really good to actually use your personal agent on the page that you're wanting to work on. So let's take a little example of for example, my everyday carry tech bag. Let's open this up. So this is a video. This is my kind of content manager, this kind of templated page within the content database. And I use this to make my videos. I can put in title ideas, thumbnail ideas, and so on and so forth. This is where the script is going to go. So watch this. We're going to open this up. Let's start a new chat. Make sure we're in Claude because it's the best one to use. Maybe make this a little wider. I'd like to script this video. So it's just going to talk about the page that we're currently on. Now I should see it select the correct mode and follow my kind of first inquiry protocols that it will have for mode 6, which will be about asking me titles, hooks, angles, what's important about the video. Because there's not a lot of information in there at the moment. All it will know is this title, and it will probably know the kind of brands that I'm considering featuring or partnering with or whatever else. Let's jump back in. Great, so it can see it's reading the page context, asking me which hook format I would like to use, and if there's a partner or a sponsor for the project. Fantastic. And it's saying, what's your content focus? So let's answer some of these questions. Now, the hook format guide is referencing, first of all, I've got a hook format view. If we just jump back into here, this is the instructions for the content system, and it will do a couple of tasks: help me script long form YouTube videos, repurpose existing scripts, or just do any kind of writing using style guides based on whatever you've got in your system. It has to do this mandatory scoping step, which it's done. But I also really just want to show you the reference material that's in here. It's going to link to my tone of voice, so you can always be updating that. And of course, all those things we added in before. But it has this page, the long form YouTube hook format guide, which is fully embedded into the template. This alone, I think, is worth the cost of the template. So storytelling, hook format, problem solution, preview, contrarian hook, you're able to look at it as you go. So let's go back to our scripting and let's answer some questions here. Let's do a personal story opening. I'd like to also feature Fuji and my new camera that we talked about, the X100 VI. There's a bag from Harbour London for that. I've also going to be featuring the portable monitor from UPerfect. Any of the linked sponsors, we should be featuring them. But the actual paid sponsor for this video, let's say it's going to be Moft. So please reference past videos for integrations on the iPad and iPhone accessories from them. I'd also like to feature the iPhone 17 Pro and some filming kit from Telsin. Right, that'll do. Let's put that in. So what's great is it's now searching my workspace, emails even here, as you can see. So this is really great. This is the second stage of the process I ask it to do. So personal hook, yeah, this is nice. Now this is not going to be perfect, of course, but it's great. This looks good. So let's just say, also research my other scripts on EDC. Please also add these things. Let's do it. So this is quite a complex request. It's not going to be perfect, but it is going to do a lot. It's going to research the web. It's going to look at my personal context. It's going to use my hook formats. It's going to use my instructions, and it's going to listen to all of my existing requests within that. It's a lot of stuff to pull together. Pretty impressive, really. The point of this is that we are collaborating with something. We're not actually choosing to just let it write and go off on its own. And look, it's also done a bit more research and it wants to confirm some more details here. So it's going, great, here are some things you might want to consider. Orbit key tote, great, it's done the research. Yeah, that was what I talked about before. This is great. Yeah. Note that the DJI mic mini combo fits perfectly into the Harbour bag, and the bag is their new sling. Please research that. And it looks like here that it wants to know more about this. So what I'm going to do is this, drop that in, and I'm actually now going to go to the web. And if it's having trouble finding it, I mean, I can just go and give it a little reference. This is the item I'm referring to, which actually looks really cool. So let's copy that in. We can just give it a little bit of help. It probably would find it on its own, but we'll drop it in. There we go. I've dropped in the reference. Now, while we're here, if you ever want to, I don't know if you're aware, but you don't have to stay in this view. I could just jump over to Notion AI, look here, and find the current chat, and you'll just be able to pick it back up in the other view. So these things can carry on, and I believe you can have multiple chats happening at once. Now, what really reassures me about this agent as well is that it's taking a while to get it done. It's not just writing. It's because of all those stops, checks, balances that I've put into the system for it to be able to write about. I really want it to take its time and make sure that it's getting everything right so that when it does actually write, it writes something really meaningful. Okay, so it's got one more question for me. This is unusual. I haven't seen it ask this many questions before, but it's quite interesting. Great. That all looks good. So it couldn't find this. I'm just going to search that for it. Interesting. So I've pasted it in. It's ready to go. It's summarized everything it's going to do. This looks good. Go for it. And I was going to say, please make sure you drop it into this script. But I think I've got instructions in my memory instructions to make it do that. So let's just see if it does it and puts it in the right place. It might just put it in the chat. Now, I'm going to have to do loads of work on it. But when you're starting from a blank page, it just takes forever. And this is a great place to begin. It's basing on my style. I can build from here. And then if you want to repurpose, we've got all of the means to do that as well. I can just say, repurpose this for social media, and it will do it. Look, it's viewing the page. This is a really good sign. I think we're going to put the script into the right place. So let's see what happens. Yeah, there it goes. It's done it. I mean, that is wild. That is so good. Let's open it and see it do it. It's also using my formatting design. We're seeing it all go in real time. Well, this is really interesting. Like it knows something about me. Pretty crazy. I would never write a video exactly like this, but what a great place to begin. And this is really just a demo. So I would now kind of collaborate, ask it to improve things, do different things and bits and bobs. But for now, I just want to demo the last part of this. And let's say I'll continue to work on this with you later. But for now, please could you repurpose this into some very colloquial and personal, simple social posts. Now, what I would expect it to do is drop this into my social repurposing page. So if we go back down here, I think this is left over from before, but this is probably where I would want to put it, and it's already doing it. You can kind of see how powerful this is going to be. Now, it's also quite possible, and a little recommendation from me, that you could then start to build a content calendar that it's automatically dropping things into. And I'm starting to work on that for myself right here. A social scheduling calendar that is going to link up to something called scheduled.so. I'm going to be doing a bit more information on that soon because I think it's really exciting and can potentially allow you to completely schedule and publish all of your social posts across your platforms from Notion. But more on that in another video. So I hope that's given you a good insight into what's possible with Notion Agent and how far you can take things in coaching, creation, and collaboration using it. Now, if you want to get this full multi-mode system, it's over at bettercreating.com/AgentOS. For a limited time at the point of filming this video, I'm offering it, load it. Make sure to send us feedback using the feedback view on the template where you can drop information of what you found, what works, and any tips to improve it. That would be great. And of course, drop us a testimonial so other people can find it too. It would be great if you hit subscribe down below if you haven't yet. But if you want to also have the complete workspace system to go with Agent, I recommend touring my complete Notion Second Brain up here or watch this one down here for the mindset and thoughts that really make the difference when using any digital tool. See you later. Bye.